This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia tri-state area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington tri-state area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey everybody, what's happening? It's the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine podcast. I'm your host, WG Bunch, and I'm here with Vanessa Hankins. I'm positive she's going to try to take over this show because everybody seems to say, "Why the hell are you still on it?" We more Vanessa, less WG. Vanessa, tell us about that sponsor we had.
Our sponsor is Realty Exchange, the top-selling real estate company in the Huntington Tri-State area, serving West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Florida. Find us on the internet at realtyex.com.
All right, and special shout out to our podcast company. That's Circle 270 Media. Circle 270 Media. All you have to do is just Google them. If you've got a podcast, you're not getting the people that you want, or you're thinking about starting a podcast, you contact Circle 270 Media. They are a big reason for our success. So, all right. Vanessa, we keep kind of moving up with these guests. Good Lord, we're getting the big fish in here.
I was going to say, this is my first week that everyone's been like, "Oh, you're doing who? What?"
Yeah, we have got the one, the only, Jack Houvouras with us today. Jack, how are you?
I'm pleased to be here, guys.
We're excited to have you.
Yes, absolutely. Let me tell you real quick. And Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm a dum-dum all the time. You are editor and publisher of Huntington Quarterly and Marshall Magazine, yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Let me tell you a quick story about it. As I say on every damn...
There's no quick stories with you, so you know.
I know, I drag on. Every episode, I tell people, I used to live in Texas, and they're like, good God, if I have to hear that again. But I'm in Texas, and my dad, I don't know if it was for Christmas or my birthday or something, said, "I got you a gift, a subscription to Huntington Quarterly." And I was like, what the hell is Huntington Quarterly? He's like, "It's a new magazine." I was like, oh, God. And I was expecting something that looked like a high school newspaper to show up, and I'd be like, oh, Lord, this is embarrassing. Here comes this magazine that's glossy pages, and it was like
It's pretty awesome.
It was a real magazine. I was like, what the heck? What is this? I was like, wait, hold up. This is a real thing. So when was the first issue of Huntington Quarterly, Jack?
Fall of 1989.
Who was on the cover?
The first year we had beautiful pictures or paintings. So the cover was actually a Ritter Park autumn scene painted by Adele Thornton Lewis, the famous local artist.
Who was the first person to show up on your covers?
The first person to show up on the cover would have been Marshall Reynolds.
And why would it not have been me?
Well, you were probably
in Texas,
19 years old back then.
Yeah, and that's when I was peaking, my friend.
They didn't want your man-child having rear on there.
I never looked any better. But okay, so and then when did Marshall Magazine start?
1999.
Okay.
They were doing a magazine in-house, and John Drinko, the gentleman they named the library after, called him up one day and said, "Your magazine doesn't look very good. You need to let this guy who does the Huntington Quarterly start doing your alumni magazine." So I have to thank him for that.
Now, are those the only two you do, or are there some that I don't know about that I'm missing?
There's three other ones. We do one for the West Virginia State Bar called West Virginia Lawyer. We do one for the Western Chamber of Commerce called Chamber Magazine, and we do one for the med school called Marshall MD.
Oh, what? Okay. And I'm guessing is Huntington Quarterly the most popular?
Yes, that's the well, the Marshall magazine goes to a lot more people. It goes out to 25,000 people across the country, but
Wow.
Alumni and whatnot. That's awesome.
locally, the Huntington Quarterly is the one that most people are interested in reading.
Yeah, because since I didn't go to Marshall, my dad gets it, and and I'm not kissing your ass. Well, I kind of am because you're on the show and all that stuff. But I've read all of the Huntington Quarterlies, and the Marshall magazines. I certainly look through. Dad gets them, and he reads them faithfully and whatnot. But Vanessa, you get.
Yeah, that's what I was just telling before we started recording. It was actually a gift for us as well from my father-in-law one year, and we have kept up with it. We love it.
Yeah, so you're doing good work, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Well, all right.
Try.
Well, you're doing great. All right. Well, we are recording this in the spring now, and it's hard to tell when people will listen to this. They may listen to this. I mean, we've been doing this now for, good God, almost a year, and I can't believe how many people listen to this silly thing. Not because of Vanessa. Vanessa's the best thing to happen to. I'm the one that I'm like, I can't believe people want to listen to me.
I don't know what I want to hear me either.
But anyway, so we don't know when people are going to be listening to this, but when is the next episode, or not episode? When's the next issue coming out?
About a week and a half.
Okay, and we are currently, what are we, mid-April-ish?
Yeah, about mid.
Okay, and what can we look forward to in that episode? Issue.
Well,
I keep saying episode. I'm sorry, issue.
I came up with this idea, which sounded better in theory than reality, on the 50 greatest Huntingtonians of all time.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
And
Vanessa and I are both. What number are you? I'm number 37. What are you?
Probably 2.
You're number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
Well, you guys are letting the cat out of the bag now.
we're trying to build up we're trying to build up people buying the issue that we know, and I have.
Go find me at number 2.
I have like I have like 15 friends. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, anyway, it was actually a lot of fun in some ways, but in other ways it wasn't, because you have to track down photos of these people. And sometimes they don't exist. So,
and these are Huntingtonians that are present and gone,
and past
and present. There's probably
okay.
only about 10 people on the list that are living.
Oh, okay.
These are people that kind of built Huntington over the years and made it into the city it is today.
Okay.
I wasn't envisioning
most
that.
of them
I love it.
are gone, but there are about 10, maybe 12, I forget exactly, who are still with us.
Okay, gotcha. Now,
fantastic.
and you're a St. Joe boy, correct?
I am indeed.
Okay, and then St. Joe to Marshall?
Yes. Now, well, I went to Rollins College my freshman year, and I wanted to be a Huntington High guy, but Mom yanked me out of public school because she said I had too many parties I was going to. So I loved my Camac and Huntington High friends, but I guess I had too much fun and my grades went down.
Yeah, you and I are in the same club. We have a group. We meet every week Wednesday nights at 9:00. No, I'm just kidding. All right, now journalism was always your thing, or what?
Well, I wasn't sure. These young people today kind of impress me when they know what they want to do right out of college. But I kind of followed my girlfriend into a journalism class when I transferred to Marshall, and then I caught the bug and became editor of the Parthenon, and the rest is history, so to speak.
That really didn't come out very well, that you followed your girlfriend and caught the bug. But I'm guessing
she was taking the class, so I thought, well,
okay. I'm sorry, I got a little nervous there. I was like, wow, throwing his girlfriend under the bus.
No, she was my girlfriend. I didn't follow a girl.
Okay, good. I got you. All right, so you got into journalism, and is this kind of is this what you've always done, or did you do something before this? Or I mean, what led you into saying, I want to start a magazine about the Huntington area?
Well, I couldn't find a job right out of college in the newspaper business. So I thought I'm just going to start my own magazine. And I had, the experience being editor of the Parthenon. And one of the projects I had as a senior was to create your own magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't create one that was the Huntington Quarterly, but just the process of coming up with an idea sounded like it would be a lot of fun to do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people think that, I assumed all this risk by starting a business right out of college. But really, I try to tell young people today, that's a great time to do it because, you don't have any risks to assume, really, because you're not leaving behind some great paying job
Mm-hmm.
to go start a business. You're starting from scratch. Now, some people need loans. I didn't need any loans, luckily. I went out and knocked on doors, and people like your father took an ad without ever seeing the product, just based on my promise to make Huntington look as good as possible in this magazine.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So that's how it happened.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's pretty impressive. Now, in this next issue, you and I, we'll give everybody a little sneak peek. You and I have talked about it. I believe you have another article in this upcoming issue about nightclub bar stuff.
Yeah, this is one I think your listeners will like even more.
Yeah, because we are.
This is going to get you from 7,000 listeners to 14,000 right here.
Yeah,
that's all WG's been waiting for.
I don't know how I came up with the idea, but somebody mentioned something about their favorite bars that aren't around anymore. So I put out this post on social media saying, what are some of your favorite bars from yesteryear? And we got flooded with responses. And it turned into one story to it's going to have to be a 3-part series because
really,
I bet you I received at least 30 bars, a lot of which I never heard of. But so we're going to have 10 in the upcoming issue, and then 10 in the summer and 10 in the fall.
Whoa.
I'm excited for this.
No. Wow, I hope it doesn't speak to our community. Look, if you don't live,
we're a college town, though.
Yeah, that's true. If you don't live here, we're not that bad. We're social.
We are social. Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
I like that narrative.
Yes, there we go. So, all right, give us a couple highlights of. I guess maybe just the first issue because 30 is going to be a lot. But give us some of the early ones.
And we'll just touch on the first 10, and these aren't like this. This isn't the end of the list. This is just the start.
Okay.
But the one that got the most comments was Boney's Hole in the Wall.
Now,
never heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
No.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, and that's before my time. That's my sister's time. Now, here's my thing is I talked to my sister graduated Huntington High in 78 and then went to University of Virginia on full scholarship and made me look like a dum-dum in high school because everybody was like, "Are you Brenda's little brother?" I was like, "Yeah, lower your expectations." But yeah, she went there and she told me, she said, "Oh yeah, I remember Boney's Hole in the Wall because they had wingdings." I assume those were chicken wings.
What is a wingding?
Jack, tell us what a wingding is.
They were these giant paper cups filled with beer that you could get for like $1 or less.
I'm in. Let's bring it back.
I know, and I don't know why they're called wingdings. Do you have any idea why they're called wingdings?
I have no idea. Now, I do know the bar was open from 1968 to 1986, so that's probably why we don't have as many memories of Boney's as other people do.
Where was it? I can't remember where it was.
I'm looking at the article right now that says 6th Avenue.
Okay.
And that's all the article says, so we dropped the ball on that.
That's all right.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think it was right near campus on 6th Avenue, so probably kind of across from the Student Center on 6th.
Okay, I gotcha. I know where you are. That's
my recollection.
Okay.
I'm looking at the other bars, and they give you exact addresses, like the one you worked at.
Yeah. Vanessa, I DJ'd it when I always have to bring this stupid Texas thing in. We talked about it on a previous episode when I basically flunked out of college.
Oh, yeah.
And mom and dad said, no, bring your ass home. And,
Yes.
And
that was your punishment?
Yes. It wasn't a punishment. But I came home, and since I had DJ experience, Dave Coffenauer and Paxton Malloy and Tom Schindler and the boys hired me to be their weekend DJ.
There you go.
Yeah, it was fun. Believe me, it was fun. But so I DJ'd there, and then during the week I would DJ at Verbs. Okay, Verbs is it's still a bar, but I don't know what it's called now.
So is that the one that Andrea's husband had, or he later had?
Yeah.
Okay, because they all talk. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's.
Sorry for anyone. I forget when we're recording that like there's more people listening to this. Andrea is a family member of ours, so
yeah. And Vanessa's 19, so she doesn't.
Yes,
really,
I'm a child.
Yeah, she doesn't know. I mean, she's not. But anyway, so I DJ'd the Double Dribble and Verbs, and Double Dribble is where the stadium is now.
Okay, I've heard of it.
That used to be a whole row of. There was the Varsity and Double Dribble, and then when they built the football stadium, they tore them all down.
So the Varsity of my time was the hotel that got tore down. That's now like the business center or whatever for Marshall.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, we had one that was called the Varsity, like when I was at Marshall.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was unaware of that.
Yeah. Well, that just gave me insight. That's where it must have came from. I'm sure.
I didn't know that. All right. Well, all right. And Jack, before we keep going, because I want to hear about a couple other ones.
Yeah, me too.
We love the game.
Well, there were two Verbs. There was the 10th inning where you could have a DJ spin records, which is probably the one you worked at. And
yeah.
Then there was Verb's Dugout, which was at 1452 4th Avenue. That was more of a sports bar.
That was where I DJ'd.
Is that the sports bar?
Yeah, and they had a promotion called Drinking with Lincoln.
Yes.
And it was
that is like everyone loved that.
It was $5 to get in, and it was whatever the cheapest beer they could find, and they gave it to you in like little little bit bigger than shot glasses.
So kind of like quarters night at Union, something like that.
It could be, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Did you ever do quarters at Union?
Yes, that was it. So okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
There's a question for me. The Verbs that you worked at.
Yeah.
Was that the one where Kinko's and Prime Copy Plus, kind of in that area right there?
Correct. Yes. When you walked in, and the DJ booth was all the way across the room.
Okay, that's when I went
that would
to
have been
a
a
lot.
pretty
I
big
thought
bar
that was a Double Dribble for some reason, but
double dribble was where the stadium was, where they tore it down. The Verbs I DJ'd at on weeknights was the one that was where the Kinko's was. Yes,
that's where I met my college sweetheart.
Oh,
that's sweet.
I remember that because I think that's where you and I first met, because you came up and said, "Can you play Lady in Red?"
You're such a weirdo. I love it.
I did.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's a good story.
Yeah. Let's let the public go with it. We won't correct them. Yes, but yeah. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna play a quick game. I want to play be honest. Were you a bar hopper back in your day?
Not a real big one. I would go with my buddies every now and then I would go to meet girls, and then once I got a girlfriend, I stopped going as much.
Okay, gotcha.
Good man.
Yeah, he is. He raises the bar.
Well, there was no point at that,
Yeah, that's true. You got what you needed, and then why else go? All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a quick game with Jack Houvouras here. All right, this is early '80s, and this is pre-girlfriend. Okay.
All right.
You got a big night coming up on a Friday or Saturday night, and you need some new threads. You need some. You're kind of like, look, I want to make sure that I'm looking good on this Saturday night. What is your store of choice in Huntington as far as where you're going to go get clothes?
Oh, I'm embarrassed to say this, but back then there was a place at the mall called Chess King.
Oh, baby, baby. Yes, yes.
Chest King?
And it sold what we call this GQ style of clothing. I remember like these skinny little ties, and I think I had like a army green suit
Oh, my
with
Lord.
like some striped weird shirt.
Oh, my
and
God.
Anyway,
Is there
it was a
photos of
fad. It was a
this?
fad.
Vanessa, have you ever seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah.
It's
Very similar.
a little bit like that, yeah. But oh my God, that's
So I have a question for both of you. When did threads finally go away?
oh,
Is that you still use that?
I still.
I saw your face. You were offended.
Do you mean the term threads?
Yes.
Oh, I still use. Yeah, I still go to Wrights and I go, hey man, I need some threads.
I don't remember
date
using
this
that word
weekend.
looking for clothes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm picturing Jack Houvouras in his parachute pants and his members only jacket. Did you ever have a Did you have a members only?
I think I did.
I
yeah.
totally had one of those when I was a child.
I wore mine.
I'm sure it was a hand-me-down from a cousin.
I wore mine today. All right, so Jack is at Chess King getting his
threads.
His threads. All right, then, all right, when you go out to the club, and all right, now let's say maybe it's with your girlfriend or whatever. Did you have and this is early '80s? Did you have a go-to? It can't be no ballads. Did you have a go-to song that you and your girl would dance to?
Oh, you mean like a fast song?
Yeah.
How can you go with no ballads in the
man.
80s? It was like,
the Commodore's Brick House.
oh, good choice.
Nice.
And that was a little older, but I liked. I was remembering this the other day. Somebody posted something on social media about Hex Department Store.
Yep. We did an
I remember
episode
the
on it.
Yeah.
First album I ever bought was Casey
And the
and the Sunshine Band.
What's the best Casey and the Sunshine Band song? Don't
Get
you?
Down Tonight.
Oh, come on.
I like it.
It's
Shake, shake, shake.
no.
It is catchy.
Do
It's
you
very catchy.
do you want to go party? Is the best case if you everybody out there who's like I don't even know that
I don't
song.
even think I've heard it.
Do you want to go party? Oh, it's the best. Oh, that's the funky. That's the funk.
You guys can't see him, but he's totally dancing and
because it's yeah. Oh yeah.
he's going to roll out of his chair.
That's the best Casey and the Sunshine Band song, and the best and Commodore's Brick House is good.
It's good.
but they have a song called Lady.
I've heard that song.
We got your song. Now, when you went to these places, were you? My sister told me a lot of people would play like pinball or shoot pool or something. Was that your gig?
No, I was never very good at those things. They used to have that game where you slide the thing down.
Shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard, yeah.
Yeah, but with the things in your hand that go down like long wooden, like bowling lane with sand on it.
Right, like at Davis's place.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Davis is, and who had it before there? Emma Tween. Emma Tween had one.
Could be, maybe. I don't know. All right, now the night wraps up, and I'm guessing where did you go? Dwight's.
Oh, I love to go to Dwight's on First.
Right, yeah, because I think it was the only 24-hour place, wasn't it? Because
It was, and they allowed smoking back then, so you'd walk in there at 2 a.m.
Ew.
and it would be filled with smoke and just a few kind of strange-looking adults. The rest of them were college people, and we would order like big breakfasts. Like I remember I ordered the Farm Boy.
what is that?
Yeah, please
was
tell.
3 eggs, 3 pancakes, and 3 pieces of meat or something.
Oh my God! After drinking, oh,
I
was
get the
great.
Farm Boy, though. That makes sense.
oh my God!
Farm Boy.
Wow! Oh, wow! No! Wow! Woo! Jamie Oliver, the chef, coming back doing another show would be like, no wonder everybody looks like this around here.
I missed White's so much.
Yeah, it was the only place to go. I remember Burke Allen always hanging out there from Key, and he'd always have a Bon Jovi shirt on and stuff.
Always.
He was yeah.
He was known for the Bon Jovi shirt.
He was oh
That's
my
fantastic.
God, that dude I think he brought Bon Jovi here. He was like the main, like, hey, it's Bon Jovi.
I want to be known for a shirt. Moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so, all right. Well, so any other, because I don't want you to give away the whole episode, or again, the whole issue, but what other places do you remember fondly, or any other little insights you can give us on the first group of bars and nightclubs?
A couple of more on the list were ones I actually patronized. Robbie's, which was the biggest club in town and the biggest dance floor.
Right.
That one was pretty popular.
If you wanted to go dance, you went to Robbie's.
Right.
I love that place.
Were you a regular patron at Robbie's?
Well, let's just say if I went out at some point in the evening, I was going to end up at Robbie's where I could go dance.
Now,
it seemed like the place. Like anyone of that age group loved it.
Jack, be honest. On a scale from 1 to 10, grade your dancing.
10.
Oh, really?
I love it.
You go, boy.
I love it.
My parents met during World War II, and they would go out in Newport, Rhode Island. That's where my dad was stationed, and dance. They won dance contests, so I inherited it.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Love it.
Mr. Pop and Lock.
You get the invite to the weddings all the time, I'm sure.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're gonna start kind of wrapping up a little bit here, and we so appreciate the magazines. You're doing a bang up job. We love them. The quality is fantastic.
It really is.
Now, to get the magazine, I'm a dum-dum. Do you still subscribe to the magazine, or is there like an online version?
There is an online version. It's free for now, but those days are numbered. You're gonna have to pay to see the online version.
You're selling yourself
in the
short.
next few months.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'd say 75 to 80% of our people read the magazine as a print edition that they get in the mail. They subscribe. And maybe only 25% read it online.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like when it shows up in the mail. I mean, so few things show up in the mail these days that when it pops through your mail slot, it's like it comes in the paper.
It's in the paper, the plastic wrapper.
Yeah, that plastic wrap. You pull
just like my Playboy magazine used to come.
Oh, Jack, don't you have children?
That's okay.
No, I do not.
Oh, well, then you can go ahead and talk.
It was okay. Parents can talk about Playboy.
And there's no Playboy magazine anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't
exist. That's why they used to do that in the old days, so people could see what it was.
I did not know that.
I did not.
Well, I was going to say my Huntington Quarterly is at the front door in a stack.
And
I have
not
them
just show up all bent and folded, so I put the plastic wrapper on.
See, the only magazines I
appreciate that.
I get Huntington Quarterly, and I still get highlights for children.
Same.
Yeah.
Same, but they're for my daughter. What's your excuse?
Well, they're for me. I like to go to the back page, and it's like,
like to find it?
Find these
Those
images.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, and I'm like, and good, half of the time I can't find them. It's just so frustrating. So, all right, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for joining us, and yeah. So to subscribe, we just go to huntingtonquarterly.com or hq.com or where.
Yeah, that's exactly right. huntingtonquarterly.com.
Okay, got it. All right, Jack. We certainly appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jack.
No problem.
All right, we'll see you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Vanessa. Now, here's another place that I want to mention that my sister told me about. The Inferno. Now, the Inferno is, or was, on 3rd Avenue. You know where ACF is, and right before the train tracks.
Yeah.
You cross over the train tracks. Inferno sat kind of back off, but right as soon as you went over the train tracks on the right, it's like before.
So the softball field.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Before you got to the car wash and all. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's the Inferno. Now, this is the most unique thing I couldn't believe. This is in the 70s. The Inferno had tables that every table had a phone
Ooh, I've heard about this.
in the middle of the table, and what would I don't know how you would. I guess maybe the tables had numbers on
So your
them.
sister told you. So you've never got to do this.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't need that. I didn't need to be calling girls on the in
You're
club.
too busy forgetting girls' addresses and dropping them off to the wrong place.
I know. But yeah, so what they would do though is they would like you and your girlfriends would be at a table and your phone would light up.
Oh, okay.
It would be
So you knew somebody wanted to talk to you.
and it'd be somebody else in the club calling you, going, "Hey."
So they had to be like labeled somehow.
There has to be a way that I don't know if the numbers were. There must have been on the table something.
Something, yeah.
Or there must have been. Maybe,
We need photos. Somebody find a picture.
Yeah, because now, all right, because apparently sometimes, let's say you and your girlfriends are sitting there. Sometimes a guy would call your phone and try to kind of hide themselves and just kind of be like, "Hey, I'm seeing you."
It's a little creepy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a little bit creepy.
And then there would be guys that would call you and say, "Hey, it's me over here. I'm waving at you," and you're like, "Hey, all right, bye bye."
Yeah,
but
not into that. Thanks.
So
Or maybe you are.
let's say, all right, if in that kind of a situation, I mean, what would be a pickup line somebody could use? I mean, and this is before Brandon. This is pre-Brandon. No, not.
So he's like the king of pickup lines.
Is he really?
Like
What did he-
humor. Just humor. Like just be ridiculously dumb and I'm going to fall for it. Like it really.
That does not work. I've been playing that card for ever, being dumb and funny. Anyway, but all right. So, what would be an example of a good pickup line,
man.
or what would be the example of a terrible pickup line? I mean, I know all the bad ones. I know all the ones where it's like,
I'm trying to think of like the worst ones that have ever been used on me, but honestly, I've been a married old lady for a very long time.
I'm trying to think because I don't think I ever went to pickup lines. And I don't think I really had any friends that used them, but I certainly have talked to women who have said, "Oh God, this is the worst," and all those cheesy ones they use in movies,
Yeah.
which now I'm drawing a total blank on. But
Yeah, same.
it's like, you must be from outer space because I can see the stars in your eyes.
Oh yeah, that's like the old school corny.
What would be all right?
But people fell for that for sure.
I don't know. I mean, would they?
I think people fell for that.
What? All right, but what would be the worst approach to come to you through a phone and go, "Hey, I'm here at the club"? Would it just be like,
Oh, I don't know.
baby, you hot?
Yeah, come at me like that, and it's not going to work out real well. Because I'm gonna be like, yeah, no.
Okay. So, all right.
I literally, anyone that knows me, my husband's just he's a goofball. Like for Easter, he looked like a homeless man on purpose. Like
That's not true. I saw that photo on social media. Those pants aren't big. They're not like MC Hammer
those
big.
pants came from a portly short man. Like he bought them from Goodwill, and they're his favorite thing in the entire world. And we love Goodwill, so I'm not knocking it.
Bad news. Those were my pants.
Those were a dead man's pants, I'm sure.
No, I donated them to.
No, there's no way. Did you see how wide the pants were? Like the legs themselves, like the man's legs had to have been like 2 foot round.
Have you not looked at my legs? I've lost a lot of weight recently, but yeah, I mean that's why I had to donate them. As I was like, damn, I don't have elephant trunks down there anymore. But
So I think like if it was just the voice and I don't know the layout of this bar.
Mm-hmm.
So if I couldn't see the table, you're going to need to say something funny and make me laugh off the bat, which is not super hard. I love to laugh. I think people that's been listening knows that.
now, what would happen if I'm just now thinking about this? You're with 2 other girls, and who answers? You answer the phone. You answer the bat phone.
Yeah.
And then the guy says, can I talk to the other girl?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it'd be like,
like, hold on, what table are you at? Let me know if you're. I'll let you know if you're wasting your time or not.
Do you? Yeah. Do you screen them for your friend?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know.
Women spend the most time screening for their friends in bars than anything, I feel like.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
No wonder I swung and missed so many times.
We know our friends better than they know themselves sometimes.
God, I should have known that.
So we don't want to hear about it the next day.
Oh,
but,
Lord. All right. We are going to sign out of here. Thanks so much for listening. Check out all the other episodes. And Vanessa, take us out.
We are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia tri-state area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.